we have the upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh! Air Max 95. I must say right off the market, if you were not fucking with Yu-Gi-Oh! As a child, in your teens, growing up, I don't want to see you going for these. I don't want to see you wearing these. I don't want to see you reselling these. Leave these to the fans, the people who mess with it. These are fire. They come in this awesome kind of blue colorway, inspired by Joey and Red Eyes Black Dragon. And in Japan only, they're dropping a black and white version of the shoe that is directly inspired by the manga, and it being black and white. The packaging for these is sick. They all come with exclusive cards that have the shoe on them, which I'm sure with the card game as it is right now, of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, that sort of thing, with so many people scalping, I'm kind of scared these are going to sell just, for people to get those cards or to make a buck off that. But these are genuinely like an Air Max 95. I really like it. We talked in a previous episode about the 95s and how they've been kind of seeing uptick and more colorways pushed out. I haven't seen one that's really spoken to me yet until these. Like, these are genuinely something, even if it wasn't a collab, like this is a colorway I would mess with. Curious what you guys think on these ones.
Well, you said for non-Yu-Gi-Oh fans to hold off on these, and man, you can have them, bro. I don't think I'm high on these at all. They're not ugly. Granted, like, this is why I like sneakers. I like sneakers because they can tell a story, because they have something that you can draw back to, and they're like, wow, like this tells a story. This is directly tied to one of the biggest television like franchises ever, like no hate on Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to watch it a little bit, but I wasn't like a big like enough fan to where I knew just about, like, I'm not, wasn't like an avid fan.
If you ain't have a dual disc, man, these ain't for you.
Yeah, I had some cards. I would watch the TV show a little bit, and it was cool, but I was never too crazy on it. But I'm also not crazy high on Air Max 95s to begin with. There's a select few colorways that I rock with, and I don't know, this to me doesn't call my attention, but I can see why somebody who was a fan of the show or a fan of the card game would want to go out and get a pair of these. So, all power to you. That Japan pair does look pretty cool. I like it when I have like an exclusive drop in just one country, and kind of adds to that exclusivity, which I always like to see. But yeah, I don't hate these are just not for me. But if I will agree that the packaging is really cool. I like the fact that they made it its own kind of thing, and it's not like I think about maybe like the Powerpuff Girl dunks. Like, I believe those came in just very regular packaging and very regular boxes. This is cool to see. So this is different. So I rock with it, just not for me.
Yeah, I think these are an example of like they're not phoning it in, and that's what I want to see from collabs. Like you mentioned with the Powerpuff Girl dunks, I never even heard about those. But the fact you said they came in a regular box, like, show me that you care. Show me that someone cares. Like, someone put this together because they were like, okay, I actually see potential in this, and this is gonna be something cool. Maybe the person who came up with the idea was a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, maybe not. Maybe just some corporate person who's just a genius and understands marketing. Probably. But the fact that it has this packaging, it has an animated and a manga version, just for the viewers out there, we into that. So the fact that they have that attention to detail, the animated pairs called Joey for like the English audience, and the manga pairs called Jonochi, which is like Joey's original Japanese character's name, and they had both the voice actor for both doing like a little promo for each shoe in each market. Like, this is like attention to detail you only dream of for collab sneakers. I think that's super dope that they are going to those lengths, and I'm sure they're gonna reap the rewards. I'm sure these shoes are gonna pop off. Even among the Yu-Gi-Oh fans, but even maybe just general anime fans are like, okay, finally a collab we can get behind. I think especially in the Western market, Yu-Gi-Oh is one of those few shows that crossed over super early. So the fact that I think they're gonna hit nostalgia in a way they might not with a lot of other collabs. Maybe with only like a Dragon Ball, Pokemon, like stuff like that. I think you're gonna have some competition in the cosplayers. I'm not gonna lie. I think the cosplayers might hit it. I'm not even lying. Like, especially Halloween coming up, like anime. I think there's New York Comic Con's coming up. I think Anime NYC just passed, but I think you might see a lot of people who are like, I want to do a little Joey cosplay. Now they got the exact sneaker they need to put together. And the Joey cosplay not too hard, man. Bro wasn't wearing his main fit isn't anything crazy, so. Well, it's hard, but it's not like hard to source something that looks like that. So, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of competition for these shoes. That Japanese pair, like Eric said, the main pair I like too, but that Japanese pair, I'm a black, monotone merchant. I ain't gonna lie, I might have to do a little trip out there to cop those, bro. Those are fire. Those are fire. They're clean. I'm not about to.
To me, they just remind me too much of a regular 95. Like I respect the storytelling and I like them for that, but I also, I fiend for blue, so blue pair just naturally gets my attention. One thing I want to bring up though is that if y'all remember, Adidas actually collabed with Yu-Gi-Oh! A couple years back. These put those shoes to shame, bro. Adidas was crazy because they just took some forms, I think Forum Lows or some other skate kind of silhouette, and slapped Dark Magician on the side, slapped a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the side, which can go hard in its own right, like with the right fit. But in terms of versatility and wearability, these knocked those out of the water. Those were cool in their own way. I think they came with like Exodia kind of pieces as well.
Yeah,
like
looking at the box. Tags. The box is cool.
Yeah,
for those.
The box was cool too, but I don't think Adidas was willing to invest in the execution as much. And I'm sure Nike probably pitched to Yu-Gi-Oh! We're like, hey, we can do a whole lot more than what those guys did. I genuinely, I hope this is like the first pair of maybe a continuous collaboration of some sorts. Like, I can only imagine if they make a Blue Eyes pair of something or Exodia pair of something. Like, now that the door is open.
Yeah, why not? I think the fact that they started with Joey, first of all, the fact that they started with Joey, to me, hey man, someone there knows ball because Joey's my guy.
Yeah.
Like, Joey's like, I think he's probably not the most popular character. Obviously, Yugi, Kaiba, whatever. But I think if you like Yu-Gi-Oh! And you know Yu-Gi-Oh! And you watch the show too, I think Joey's like, everyone low-key really likes Joey. Like, Joey's like a super cool dude. And Red Eyes, like, even back when we used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school and stuff, like Red Eyes, I was a Red Eyes fiend. Like, Red Eyes, that whole line is my thing, So I think whoever decided, okay, we're gonna start it off, assuming it's gonna be a continued thing with the Joey pair or a Joey like whole package. I think that was super interesting that they went with that because it's not expected. I think what Adidas did,
but it's smart because he wears the shoes.
It makes way more sense. I think Adidas doesn't have that opportunity.
Yeah,
because they're like, okay,
they don't have that influence.
literally, nobody was wearing whatever shoe it was. So like, they're like, you know what? Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, most popular cards. Let's just throw them in there, which is smart in its own way. Like, you got to do what you got to do. But the fact that Nike has this actual tie to the show, to the character, they're like, okay, Joey, let's do it. It makes a whole bunch of sense. Makes way more sense. And like you said, I really hope that this means more in the future, because if they're able to nail this like this, maybe not spam it, because I'm sure maybe it'll get tiring after a while. But if they do every once in a while, they come out, okay, like volume 2, volume 3 of this, hit some cool characters, some cool collabs. I think there's a lot of potential. I think it says a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! Too, that the two biggest sneaker brands both went to them for a collab. There's a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh!'s cultural pull. And I think Adidas also did a Dragon Ball collab a few years back. I remember seeing like some orange and blue sneakers, like or like a purple one too or something. So I remember Adidas doing that. So maybe Nike be like, hey, we need to dip off that chip too, go do a little Dragon Ball collab. We will be on that as well. Nike, just steal everything they got. I like it.
Yeah. I do gotta say, like, I just looked up the Adidas pairs as a reference again. I didn't even know they did a Winged Dragon of Ra Superstar. That thing is disgusting.
I didn't know that
It
either.
is disgusting, bro. Like, the other shoe is fine, but this is bad, bro. At least I'm seeing, like, in the kid sizes on Flight Club.
Oh,
But that is
Ooh.
bad.
oh, that's what is this? Like, oh, there's so many poor design choices.
We'll maybe throw an image on screen so viewers
yeah,
can see.
this is
But
crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was a kids only pair. I can see that for kids, but in general, that's just like a terrible design choice. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Nike, you have your mission. Do a little Egyptian gods collection or something, bro. We're cooking
Don't
with
get me
gas.
started.
That's
That's actually crazy that Adidas didn't even think of that. Like,
they only did one of them.
yeah,
Insane. Nike, you know what to do.
potential is crazy, bro.
Just because Yu-Gi-Oh has style. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna act like I like Pokemon. I was never, you know this, Alexia. I was never like the biggest into Pokemon as a kid. I was always like Team Yu-Gi-Oh type dude. But Pokemon has its appeal as well. But
They're both
realistically, it's like a way more. I'm not trying to belittle it because it's not the reason why I was Team Yu-Gi-Oh. But it is, it's a way more childish, cutesy kind of appeal, and that has its.
You can still have aura in there, but it's not like a dragon in Pokemon, like a Dragonite or a Dialga. They are not gonna compare to it, like the most simple dragon in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh just has the look. It has the look that I think it can cross over. Even I know we said we fans, you know, hopefully you get your luck, but I think even in general, I think the reason why it has so much potential because Yu-Gi-Oh, it just has that look, which I think will just work. So
yeah,
keep it going because this is a massive bag that you guys are in for. You know, Eric was just giggling there. We were talking about the dragons and the different stuff.
Because I'm like, okay, I'm really just trying to be respectful, man. I'm not in this fandom, and you know, like I'm really just not trying to be disrespectful, man. But I appreciate all the input that you guys have. I was also looking at the pairs that you guys were referencing. I didn't think the superstars were that bad. I think the little I saw the little orange. I think what was worse was that orange Goku sneaker or whatever that was just
the Adidas.
That was terrible. That made the superstar look a lot better because that Goku, whatever, I don't even know what Adidas model that was, but that was terrible.
Oh, that ain't that bad. No,
that's awful. That's like
I remember these now. Frieza, the purple and white.
Yeah, they had a Frieza one.
Like those are cool. I thought.
The Frieza ones.
Gokus aren't bad. The Gokus aren't bad. I'll stand by that.
I probably wouldn't wear them, but I don't hate them. The Frieza was definitely
like
the best.
Neon orange.
I said I would not wear them, unless it was Halloween or something. But
everything else from that collection is hot garbage.
Yeah, the Frieza is definitely by far the best.
Yeah,
they had like the Cell ones are absolute dog. I don't know what the hell that is.
Those are awful. Those are awful.
The Super Saiyan Vegeta, I wouldn't wear them either, but it's not as bad. A lot of these are really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like the Shenron, it's not looking good, bruv. But Kid Buu, oh my god, that's trash. But Adidas.
I forget Kid Buu was a character, not just man. And this is someone who wasn't. Y'all remember Kid Buu the rapper?
Unfortunately, the anime influence is deep. Unfortunately, and not always results in quality. And we can see that with that Adidas collab with Kid Buu the rapper. You know, some people they just, especially Adidas, it feels a little bit more like a cash grab. But Nike, we're seeing that it seems like a little more care and intention went into it. So hopefully they tap back in and we get a Dragon Ball collab. We need a little revamp because if only the Frieza pair is really hitting like that, you know, we need a revamp for sure. So yeah, I'm excited for these anyway to wrap up the whole Yu-Gi-Oh 95 segment. And also just to mention, because you said this earlier and I forgot about it, 95s are fire, bro. I ain't with that. I ain't a fan of 95s in general. 95s are fire, but at each their own. I understand that. Maybe we got to do a tier list of like the Air Max, different types of Air Maxes. That'd be fun.
I think I'm just not big on Air Maxes, period. Like, I think the 95s are among the better Air Maxes, but I don't know.
Well, there we go. Tier list got to happen now. It's got to happen. Or maybe a World Cup or something like that. Yeah.